When I was a small child, I was in a car accident. It left me with mild paralysis on the left side of my body, but it was not severe enough to interfere with my daily life. However, the way I walk indicates that something is certainly wrong with me. As a result, even as a small child, I could sense that others were observing me when I walked outside. I hated those days, but life became even worse when I became an elementary school student. One day in first grade, I was walking home from school with a friend, as I always did. Suddenly, several boys came running up behind me, calling my name. The leader of the group, a boy, said to me, "You walk really weird, don't you?" Hearing his words, everyone in the group burst into laughter. I was angry, but I couldn't say anything back because it was apparent that the way I walked was unusual. I turned my head down. When the boy realized this, he bullied me even more. "I'm sorry you have to go home with her and walk so slowly," he said, causing my heart to break. It was the first time I believed I was causing problems for others. Then my friend Alice stepped in and said, "Who cares? She enjoys being with everyone. It doesn't matter how she walks or how fast she walks. Just go away." She said this firmly to the boys and then turned to me. "You don't have to care about what they said," she kindly said to me. My eyes filled with tears, but I tried my best not to cry in front of my friend. I simply nodded while thinking, "Damn it, let's go, guys." The boys left us, and we strolled home happily as if nothing had happened. I had hoped that things would continue like that, but as time passed, there were fewer and fewer people around me. Every day on my route to and from school, I was alone. The girls I used to walk home with would have normal conversations with me at school. However, they created a separate group to walk to and from school without me. Perhaps they were embarrassed to be seen with me. Perhaps they became tired of my walking speed as they grew older. There was nothing I could do about this. I didn't want to say anything since I didn't want to ruin our friendship. These days continued and I entered junior high school. However, because it was a public junior high school, the students' faces did not change greatly. The boy who used to say mean things to me and the girl I used to walk home with were both in the same school. The boy stopped saying anything in particular when we entered middle school. Perhaps he had grown up a little. My friend, the girl, was simply chatting with me in a formal manner at the time. I don't think this was because we didn't get along any better, but rather because the girl had met a new friend with whom she was much more comfortable. I began to think it was strange to refer to our relationship as friends. My 3 years of junior high school passed without any significant memories. Then I became a high school student. I was accepted into the most prestigious high school in my town. I was not particularly intelligent, but I worked hard during my 3 years of junior high school. It's not like I enjoyed studying, but I didn't have any friends to hang out with, and that was all I could do. While I was doing that, I realized I had the highest grades in my class. I was not truly happy about this. I wanted to have meaningful conversations and spend time with my friends, but if I had done those things, I would not have finished first in my class. I had mixed feelings about this. A few months after entering high school, I still had no one I could call a friend. People in my class went home together and formed friendships. But that was not possible for me. I imagined that others were hanging out and having fun after school. But I studied in the classroom almost every day until it was time to leave. Just as I was about to leave, a boy entered the classroom on his way home after club activities. "Oh, hey, what are you doing?" he suddenly asked me. I was so surprised that I couldn't speak for a few seconds. He got tired of waiting and said, "Hello, are you listening to me?" I was finally able to speak. Well, I always study in the classroom until this time. When he heard that, he exclaimed, "Wow, you are a really hard worker." "I forgot something in class." He said so. "I see." With that, I was ready to go home. So I grabbed the classroom key and was about to walk out, but "Don't you want to walk home with me?" That was an unexpected question from him. But that was something I had been avoiding a lot. So I couldn't reply right away. "Oh, do you have a boyfriend or something?" he asked me. I had no idea why he was asking me that question now. But the question startled me and I panicked. "No, I don't. But because I walk so slowly, I might bother you," I replied. I must have said something unnecessary. I regretted it as soon as I said it. No one cares about that. Just go return the key to the classroom and head home. He said so. That's what everyone says at first, but I didn't feel bad about going home with someone for the first time in a while, so I decided to walk home with him. But I soon regretted it. I was so focused on the idea of walking home with someone that I entirely forgot who I would walk with. walking out of school with a boy for the first time. I'd never been alone with someone my own age of the opposite sex before. My heart was racing with nervousness. Even in such a situation, he matched his walking speed with mine. I felt a little joyful remembering the days when I used to walk home with everyone. I wish this time would last forever. While I was thinking something like that, he said, "I'm going this way. See you tomorrow." And then we parted ways. I wanted to walk with him a little longer. I know I shouldn't have such a thought. If I did, I would have caused trouble for the people I was walking with. Based on my past experience, I absolutely did not want to do that. So I decided to keep those feelings in the depths of my mind. However, I was still enjoying the afterglow of the delightful feeling I hadn't felt in a long time when I returned home. I couldn't sleep at all that day because I couldn't calm down. And in the end, I couldn't sleep at all. Even though I hadn't slept at all, I felt wide awake and able to concentrate on the class more than usual. However, after school, I was studying in class as usual. I was overcome with extreme tiredness. I couldn't stand it any longer, so I fell asleep before I knew it. A few hours later, I woke up. Oh no, I had fallen asleep. I said to myself and looked around to see that it was getting dimly dark outside. When I looked at my watch again, I realized it was time for students to leave school. I was about to leave, surprised, when I noticed that someone was in the classroom. I was startled and screamed. The person was startled by the shout, but when I looked closer, I realized it was the same person I had walked home with the day before. Bertie, you scared me. That's exactly what I wanted to say to you. What are you doing? I thought my heart was going to stop. It was kind of funny how scared we were of each other, and we both laughed hysterically. He explained later, after I had calmed down, that he had forgotten something again, so he came to get it after club activities. When he came to the classroom, he found that I was sleeping. Just when he went up to wake me up, I suddenly woke up. When he tried to call out to me, I screamed at him with all my might. I apologized to him for screaming at him, and we walked home together that day too. That was a pretty great time for me. I became increasingly drawn to him and had a crush on him until I graduated. But on the day we graduated, he confessed his love to me and we ended up going out. Fortunately, he and I decided to attend the same university. He later informed me that he had studied very hard because he wanted to go to the same university as me. I was really happy because I wanted to spend more time with him too. Then, we did something that we couldn't do as normal friends. For the first time in my life, we went on a date. But this was where my trauma came back to haunt me. We had only recently started dating, and I didn't want to burden him with my walking difficulty. I didn't want him to hate me. Will people regard us as an odd couple? These are the kinds of worries that made me anxious. So I tried to walk one step behind him on our dates. But he noticed this, held my hand, and walked with me side by side. And when I got home, he asked me why I did that. I didn't want to embarrass you. I told him honestly. Just when he heard those words, "Why are you thinking like that?" He got angry with me for the first time. I was surprised to see him so angry, but I decided to take this opportunity to tell him how I'm content just to be in a relationship with someone I care about, but that's why I don't want to make you feel bad for dating me. I told him. He then held both of my hands in his and stared into my eyes trying to talk with me. I'm not dating you because I have to. I'm dating you because I like you and want to be with you, and I want to be in a relationship with you. I've known about your body for a long time, but I've never felt embarrassed to be seen with you. It makes me sad that you think that way, and I don't like it. You don't have to care about me. Don't be ashamed of yourself. I want you to be more confident and proud of yourself. We'll always walk side by side together. I'm proud of you as my girlfriend. I was so happy to hear those words that tears began to well up unceasingly in my eyes. Then I finally realized it wasn't that the people around me didn't like me. I was the one who despised myself the most. I decided to change myself. I didn't want to make him sad. I wanted to keep being his girlfriend, something he was proud of. I will accept myself and live with more confidence. Thanks to him, I was able to think that way. We will now walk side by side wherever we go from now on. I promised myself to do so,